let's get straight into the video, which is me being in my feminine era. Literally cooking, baking, just being a girl, and God teaching me and preparing me for wifehood, motherhood, and everything else He has for me. So quickly want to tell you guys that I obviously haven't posted in a really long time, a month I think, and unfortunately it's for a couple reasons, but I'm quickly just gonna say the main reason why, or main two reasons. And one is I felt discouraged posting, just because I think that happens when you're posting and you don't really get comments, and even then views. I feel like it's so hard now growing any type of social media, whether it's YouTube, TikTok. Even like TikTok, I stopped posting. And I know realistically, like, if I'm doing this for Jesus and also sharing my life, because that's how it started, where it's just like I wanted to have this footage because I love video taping everything. I think I get that from my dad, and in general I feel like a lot of our parents used to make video tapes, like home videos, and I have so many of like us growing up, and that's something that I've always loved doing. So I loved creating for that reason, because I love shooting everything. I love looking at the memories, and I know one day my kids are gonna see this. But I think along the way, obviously social media grew, and it grew to the point where like you can make a living off this. And I think that is obviously one of my goals, that I would love to have an income from this. But like going back to it, like it does get discouraging, because I feel like it's so hard to build a community and for people to care. I feel like people already watch certain people, and it makes sense, but it still feels discouraging to post videos when like you don't see growth. But at the same time, I have to get to a point where it's just like, okay, I'm still gonna be posting this, because remember why you started doing this, for the same reasons I just explained. So I do want to come back on here. I did mention in a video that I was creating that I wanted to instead of posting every Sunday, I just wanted to post like good quality videos from time to time. So I think I might do that. Any update as where I've been, what I've been doing. Honestly, I've been really growing in where the Lord has me. I've mentioned it a couple times, but if anyone's new, I pretty much am obeying God and just kind of being still and trusting Him, and in a waiting season. I really want to be a mother. I want to be a homemaker, obviously a wife. So all of those things, I feel like right now during the season, He's just teaching me to be very skillful, to learn what it means to be a homemaker. So I've been learning how to make TCM bread. I've been just gardening and I've been loving it, and obviously I share that in this video, which you guys probably already saw. But it's been such a fun thing for the Lord to really slow me down, but also He's teaching me all these beautiful like new hobbies and skills, and I really love it. It's literally where I've been, and obviously I've been discouraged, so it's like I didn't really want to film, but I did film certain things, and then I created this whole video. And it kind of sucked because in the video, I don't know if I said it already, but I know I had said it in that video specifically, that I wanted to show you like all my summer dresses, because last year I bought a bunch of dresses. It's like that saying on TikTok where it's like, oh, He made me love pink again. Like God, I've always loved pink, but I think like God really brought me to my feminine, like my most feminine side. And I bought so many dresses, and in that video I had made it was so good because I had showed you guys everything, and then I by accident tried transferring it into my hard drive and everything got deleted. And then that made me discouraged even more to post, because I was just like, oh my gosh, like this video was like 30 minutes long and it's all gone. I have some of the footage that I was able to save, but it's still gone. Like everything edited was gone, so I didn't feel like posting it. And that's literally where I've been, where I'm just like, I'm going to church, I was going to my women's group, my young adults group at my church. I've been living my life. I've been organizing and planning my summer. I have been reading. I recently started my puzzles again. I've been making bread, gardening, and it's like all of that I wasn't able to share because the video got deleted. But I just wanted to make this little here like pop in and be like, this is what happened, this is where I've been. I literally recorded everything when it came to like my TBR and my review on the books, and pretty much those clips got deleted. I'm pretty sure somewhere else in this video I already said that, but let's go through them. Mine for a Moment by Katharina Mora. I love this book. I have loved pretty much every single book that I read by Katharina Mora. She writes like billionaire romances and usually arranged marriages, marriage of convenience. It's so good. I gave this 4.5. It is brother's best friend, so it's a little bit forbidden, and I definitely recommend. Then I read The Nanny is Off Limits by Kiwi Tyler. Kiwi Tyler is by far one of my favorite authors of time. Now that I do not read smut or spice, whatever you want to call it, it's a little bit different, but I still love her books so much, because I feel like if you want a quick, easy read, something that you're never gonna have a book slump with, you writes like the best stories with depth. Yes, they are very insta-lovey, but I personally like it because I feel like it kind of gets to the point, it gets to the romance, and she always writes forbidden, and this is forbidden. This is single dad. She is the nanny of his kids, and obviously it's age gap. I loved it. I gave it 4.7. This one I do feel like it was a little bit rushed. It was a little bit on the shorter side, but trust me, if you're ever in a book slump, read her book. Sincerely, Your Inconvenient Wife by Julia Wolf. I gave this 3.9. Personally, it wasn't my favorite. This is somewhat marriage of convenience. I didn't really connect with either of the like the people of our characters, so I would say like maybe as a recommendation. And he is also a billionaire. And I read Ward Willing by Amanda Richardson. I gave this 4.5. This was so good. This is forbidden. Not only is it forbidden because he ends up being her guardian, also dad's best friend, which the dad passes away, so he becomes like her legal guardian for a year, but he's also her professor. It was so good. I gave it 4.5. I loved it. Then I read Severe by Vengeance. This is by El Maldonado. This was for me 3 stars. Personally, I don't recommend it just because it sounded good. She is a detective and he, I want to say, is part of like mafia, but it's more like of a criminal organization. But she was just very dumb, to put it that way. I did not like this. Then I read Loving Romeo, which I gave 3 stars. This is by Laura Pavlov. I think she is a great author for being small town, which I've said so many times in my videos that I'm not a small town girl. I've given it a couple tries a couple times and I found some good ones, but this one lacked severely. This is technically rival families. He's like from the wrong side of the tracks. She's like from the rich side. He's a boxer. She's a coffee owner. They're neighbors. So they're technically like, there's a little bit of forbiddenness in there because they're not supposed to be together because their family hates each other. But it lacked. For me, it was boring. Recipes for Second Chances by Ali Rosen. This was my book club book. And this one I gave 3 stars. I did listen to this in audio, which is funny because I think one time in one of my bookish videos I made this whole thing where I was just like, I'm attempting to do or listen to audible books, and I didn't like it because I felt like I couldn't concentrate doing stuff and listening. I love being in a book, like a physical book, even on Kindle, because it's like my mind goes there. It's like I'm in the book. But Audible is almost just like I'm not fully present reading the book. But this one helped me every time I try reading, and this happens with some rom-coms. I'm just not in it. I don't really care. But the audiobook got me through it really, really quick. I gave it 3 stars. I do think it's good. It is second chance romance. I personally did not like our female character at all, but it's like a summer read. It is a wedding that takes place in Italy and they both go there. Then I read Red Roses and Black Dahlias by Macy T. Riosa. This was 5 stars, you guys. Stop everything you're doing, stop this video, or maybe finish this video, but then go and read this book because it was so good. When I tell you it's like the perfect forbiddenness, but there's a huge plot twist that I did not see going. It was so good. I loved it. So this is forbidden because he's a cop and she is the daughter of the mayor. And let me just tell you, the mayor's family, except her and her sister, get unalived, and he is the one that responds, pretty much shows up to the crime scene, and now he's a detective trying to figure out what happened. And it's forbidden. They're not supposed to be together. It's also age gap. I loved it. It was so good. I cannot recommend it enough. Then I read Sinful Hearts. So I was going to finish the Dark Heart series by Jagger Cole. The first few books I disliked. I wasn't interested, and I was like, let me just finish these books. When I tell you that the rest of the series gets so good. So this one I gave 3.9. I liked them, but I wasn't really in love with them. It was barely getting better. This is Enemies to Lovers, and she is the lawyer for his mafia family, and he's kind of like the rebel child in the mafia. So I liked it, but it was still like a 3.9. Then I read Twisted Hearts, which is the next book. This is by far my favorite one in the series. It was 4.5 for me. It's obviously mafia. They're rival mafia, so I think he's in the Russian mafia and she is from the Irish mafia. They're not supposed to like each other. So far he has been the bad guy, and I remember when I picked it up I was like, I don't want to read this guy's book. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I loved it. And he pretty much like discovers secrets, so he's kind of like blackmailing her, but he falls hard for her. and he displays that love. Let me tell you, I loved it. I read Stolen Hearts, and then this is Best Friend's Brother. This was Arranged Mafia. It was okay, but I didn't really care too much for either or. I wasn't really in love with them. And then I will say the last book in this series I DNF'd. I think I tried reading like 30 pages and I just couldn't, so I just DNF'd it. I'm like, I'm not finishing this. I read Tempt by Melanie Harlow. I gave this 3 stars. It was small town. It was forbidden because it's her ex-boyfriend's dad. It was okay, but Melanie Harlow, like, she's small town, and anything with small town, I'm either gonna really like it or I'm just gonna be like, it wasn't like my favorite. And I read Mr. President by Katie Evans. This was really good. I did give it 3.9. It's forbidden because he is running for president and she is a person in his campaign working for him, and it goes beyond that because they know each other since childhood. It is age gap, but their families know each other, and I really loved it. I think it was a good mix of politics, not from the real world obviously, like better politics, and then the forbiddenness of them sneaking around. It ends in a cliffhanger because there's a part 2. Personally, I'm not gonna read book 2. I'm just gonna imagine that another ending. I read Forget Me Not. This was our next book club book. This was so good, you guys. This probably is by far my favorite rom-com we've read. I gave it 4 stars. It is second chance. It is in the wedding industry, so she's a wedding planner, he's a florist. I loved it. Definitely recommend. Then lastly, I read The Tryst. This started strong because it's forbidden. It's ex-boyfriend's dad. I read a lot of this trope, but it started strong. I liked the beginning. But the thing is, with this series, which is called The Virgin Society by Lauren Blakely, I read all books at this point, and every single book I had the same issue. I feel like she over explains. I don't think I connect with her writing. Like, she explains too much, she does too much detail, and I almost feel like there's not enough. It's not even about the forbiddenness. There's not much at stake. I read Offside by Avery, and this I ended up DNFing because it is a sports romance, you guys. And I remember when a couple years ago, when I was barely in my like romance journey, I saw a lot of like older women, and by older I just mean like in the 30s, right? And they would talk about how like they can't read certain books anymore. Like college was sometimes yes, maybe, and high school was a definitely no. Like, I cannot read this anymore. Like, I cannot read about 18-year-olds younger doing what they're doing. Like, she just didn't like it. And I think I hit an age, which I'm 24, but I hit a point where the same thing happened, and I don't care. I don't care to read about high school romances anymore, because I tried recently reading Monica Murphy's and I couldn't. It was a disaster. And then with college sports, in general sports, I kind of feel like they're all the same. The guys are players, the girls, it's either like a hookup and they're rivals and somehow they end up being together. I don't think I could read sports romances like that anymore, because they all revolve around college now, and it kind of sucks because I own a lot of books still, like maybe 7 to 10 books that are still sports, and part of me is just like, I kind of don't want to read them anymore. But I'm learning to let go. Like, if I don't like something, if I'm struggling with something, I'm just gonna DNF it and I'll sell the books, which a lot of my books I'm selling right now on my Depop. If you also want certain books to be like in a bundle or on Depop, message me and we'll figure something out. This is the portion of like the books I read this past 2 months.